Alright, let's start the sculpting. So I'm going to start with a blank ZBrush project as always. Import my base mesh that I created. So female base model, female base mesh. Open. Okay, cool. So here is the base mesh that I will start with for this mask. I'm going to try to make this tutorial as short and sweet as possible without, rambling too much like I tend to do, unfortunately. So the first thing to do is to subdivide this mesh a couple of times. So I'm going to subdivide it, let's say 4 times, and then what we're going to do is basically mask out the part of the face, kind of, that corresponds right here to the outline of the mask, and we're going to cut it out, basically, and that way effectively create a new mask, basically, like a mask. So let's see. What you need to know to kind of cut it out is the masking, right? So if you press Control, that is the mask for ZBrush, right? We learned that in our first project. But now let's do a little bit more in-depth kind of tutorial about this. So if you press Control and then go up here and click on the brush, there's different kinds of selections that you can use with the mask. I'm gonna do mask lasso. So now when I click Control, I have a lasso going on that I kind of mask things with, so I can get very precise, right? So let's do a refresher. So if I want to make a mask now, I press Control and I drag and let go, and now this portion of the face is masked, right? If I want to, for example, invert the mask, let's say I want everything but this area to be masked, I press Control and left click. So that inverts the mask, right? Control, left click, inverts the mask. If I want to get rid of the mask completely, I press Control and I just drag outside of the model. So that's gonna, get rid of the mask completely. There's a couple new things. So now if I select right here and now I want to add to the mask or subtract from the mask, there's a way to do that as well. So if you press Control and Option at the same time and drag, that's going to subtract from your mask. So Control, Option, and I can drag even right here, right? That's going to subtract from my mask, right? If I press Control and Command and drag, that's going to add to my mask, right? So now you kind of can see how we're able to really get in detail with our mask, basically. Right, so what I'm going to do is get rid of the mask completely, and actually now I'm going to subdivide it one more time. Subdivision number 5. Cool. Let's do subdivision 6. So now the mask is very crisp. And another thing that you can kind of learn is, so if you Control and make a mask, if I press Control and right click on the mask, sorry, left click on the mask, it becomes a lot softer, right? If I press Control and Option and I click on the mask, it becomes a lot more defined and harder, right? So that's another thing you can keep in mind too, because see, there's a difference between this one and this one. So if I press Control and Option, it becomes a lot more crisper, and here if I just press Control and click, it becomes a lot more smooth. See that? Okay, so yeah, that's about it for our masks, right? What we need to do to mask. And I will see you in the other video.